We are lawful youth. As you can see, we are youth.
Educated,
And you see the way we are dressed. And we have ID cards to show if they want to see.
Enough is enough, Nigeria. A coalition of individuals and youth-led organizations committed to instituting a culture of good governance and public accountability in Nigeria through advocacy and activism, mobilized young people and various civil society groups across the country from Abuja to insist, demand, and bring the Nigerian National Assembly to account for over ₦1 trillion allocation it's received since inauguration.
We are here to demand. We are demanding. What are they using that money for? The 150 billion allocation per year. We want to know what they are using it for. And again, apart from knowing what they are using it for, we want them to cut out of it, send it to ASU, and let our children go back to school.
We don't want full-time legislators anymore.
It's a very simple thing.
Part-time legislators.
Part-time lawmaking. 69 legislators.
It's not something you can do. People less than 1% of Nigeria taking 150 billion for what?
It is with the people.
But less than 0.001%
where is it?
of Nigeria. We don't want
we are the people, but who are they?
Anymore.
Bills they have been amending, but at least the last one I saw basically was the issue of the that brought about the protest of the child not bride. We don't even know who voted for what. We have to start sourcing. We don't need a backup. We need to see. We need to see who is saying what on this, who is saying what on that. We need to see. That is exactly why we the people, that is exactly why we elected them in the first place.
And apart from being a bicameral assembly, now let me say something. During Child Not Bride, that we were conversing that we don't want to buy our kids will now be brides. Okay. On a normal day, after the issue of what they call it, the Child Rights Act bill was passed, you ought to take it to all the state houses of assembly. If 2/3 should pass it, it becomes a law. Even the 1/3 that has not passed it, it becomes a law there. We don't have to go to anybody to tell us, okay, we want to buy, use the Child Rights Act bill. No, but now, they don't even understand the laws they are making. Now, let me show you. Let me show you something here. This is how much this is what they collect. Now, this data is meant for 469 members of the National Assembly. Their basic salary is almost 2.5 million naira. Now, they get an hardship allowance, which is 50% of that. They get a constituency allowance, which is 200% of that. They get a punishment allowance, which is 300% of that. They get newspaper allowance, 50% of that. For God's sake, how many newspapers are you reading that are getting 1.2 million to read newspaper? How many newspapers do we have in Nigeria? Now, let me tell you, they get a wardrobe allowance of 25% of that 2.5 million I'm still talking about. Utility allowance, 30%. Accommodation allowance 200%, and they get this. It's not as if they get is a one-off 200% accommodation. For God's sake, how many times do you pay accommodation per year? Are you paying every day? Are you paying for your see?
And there's allocation for it every month.
It's crazy. Now, we still have personal assistance allowance 25%, vehicle maintenance allowance 75%, vehicle maintenance allowance for a new car. Does it make any sense to anybody? For a new car, what do you do on a new car? You change the oil, maybe at the appropriate time. Most of it is free. You go to where you bought it and you for God's sake. Now, do you buy them every day? Not even every year. Now we have entertainment allowance. 30%, almost 1 million. Personal assistance allowance 25%. Okay, I'm talking about leave allowance 10%. For God's sake, they're on leave basically throughout the year. They don't do anything. No, we don't have to. Don't laugh. They're on leave basically throughout the year. So why are you getting the leave allowance for? Now, after I talked about vehicle maintenance allowance, which is 75% of that 2.5, they now get a motor vehicle allowance, which is 400%. 400% of their basic salary. I'm talking about almost 10 million naira. What car are you buying? You are buying bulletproof car. So who are you afraid of?
Yourself.
As in, we are their employers. Our lives are at risk every single day. When I'm sleeping with one eye open. When my wife is pregnant, I'm afraid that what will happen the next time. If I don't have money to take her to the hospital, for God's sake, if my kids have to go to school, I deliberate on it. I look for friends to borrow from. For God's sake, I'm coming here, I have a car at home, but what do they call it? How much do we buy fuel now? 97 naira. They didn't do anything. During this issue, the occupied Nigeria and the other stuff, they were not doing anything. What they do is they sit down, the senior president, I think, is eyeing the presidency now. On what dime? What we are paying them for doing nothing. They know nothing about lawmaking. And that is what we are saying. Number one, ASU is on strike. ASU need how much? 80 billion.
87 billion.
87 billion. And the government released 30 billion. Okay, if the government is telling us that they are broke, okay, agreed, we are broke. Nigeria has no money, the oil has dried up, yes. But the National Assembly is drawing how much? 150 billion for doing nothing.
600 billion for census.
You see, 150 billion for doing nothing. Yet, our kids are at home. They say they are the future of tomorrow. Okay, if they are at home, they are not learning. What future are we building? We don't have any future. We don't have any future.
In addendum to what Debo is saying, there are about 20 million Nigerian students at home right now. 20 million Nigerian students.
Because of 80 billion.
Because of 87 billion. 87 billion. This is day 88 of the ASU strike. 20 million Nigerian students need how much? 87 billion naira. 469 Nigerians. 469 Nigerians are living on 150 billion naira every year. So who is fooling who? If half of that money is devoted, if Nigeria is broke, they should take from that money and give it to ASU. We don't understand why this has to continue. These guys, they have legislated basically nothing. We still have the same problem of infant mortality. There are no laws, there are no important laws that affect our day-to-day living. There are no important laws. It is very, very depressing for us. That is exactly why we're here.
And as it is here, 469 members, less than 1% of Nigerians. They are earning
less than 1%.
Like 14 billion per month. That is there. Apart from all the other mushroom allocations that are written that we don't know about. In the USA, if you go to their website, you see how much they've spent, how they are spending it, what is it spent for. But now it's a closely guarded secret. We don't know anything.
If I may come in, are we saying now that Nigeria, the National Assembly in Nigeria is more costly than even developed countries?
Costlier than everywhere in the world. We run the most expensive democracy in the world, and one of the reasons is because of National Assembly.
That is not true. It's not in the world. It's in the universe.
You see?
The most expensive in the universe.
In the universe,
senator
it's
can
too
pay
much.
Obama his salary and still tell him sit down and still have something after his own salary.
According to statistics, they said the Senate president's salary, his basic salary, apart from the kickbacks and mushroom allowances, can pay the US president for 10 years. 10 years. The US president earns $400,000 a year. He pays for his feeding himself. He gets a bill for his feeding, that of his family. His wife does not earn anything. $400,000. A senator in Nigeria can pay his salary for as long as possible. The salary of the Senate president for a month can pay salary for 10 years. So what kind of laws are they making?
Are they working better than Obama? That's the question. As the Obama is president of the United States, that's the biggest democracy in the world. Is my senators and House of Rep members, are they telling me that they do more than Obama is doing as the president of America? It's a basic question. What we need now is that we want the children and the university students, we want them back in school. The money allocated to the National Assembly that they are not using, we want it back. Let them move it to what ASU. You remember, during the Yar'Adua-Jonathan period, that was when they made this agreement. And since then, they've not honored it. Yet, if they need money for census today, 600 billion for a census, they don't do.
That will not shut down our economy. But
you don't understand.
7 billion to pay ASU,
for
they
what?
say we shut down our economy. And we demand an explanation. The census can wait. The census they gave us
we don't even need the census. We don't need it.
We know the number we have.
We don't need it.
This demand for accountability and probity in Nigeria's socio-political space is beginning to redefine a nation that needs to become bolder and stronger in building strong institutions and ensuring that the nation experiences transformation.
What nature of help? Oh my God.